Watch this clip.
Following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled.
Now I get it. These people understand where the fuck they're at. They're in America. I get it. But that's not what he's saying. This is some pretty strong language. Listen.
If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their
Here you see President Trump walking up to the podium. Let's listen.
I've been up here a lot. I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. And just like we did on our southern border, nobody comes to our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, when you take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is... Okay, the red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. D.C., 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. Is that where you want to live? The reporters of the world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. Not getting better, it's getting worse. And we had a recent indication. There was a story about a man who was just left. He quit because he was asked to do phony numbers on crime. And we're going to look into that. I think Pam is going to be looking into that. But he was asked by the city, I guess, that we don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down. And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to take years because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job. And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before. I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was, with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way, because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly.
In the nation's capital tonight, a dramatic change after crime scenes like these. President Trump declaring a public safety emergency, deploying 800 National Guard troops to D.C. and taking control of the district's police department.
This is Liberation Day in D.C. and we're...
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honor unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000 men. All right, this is a quick video, on Trump. We just watched part of the video from the beloved elder Manasseh Akbar out in South Carolina. Trump, federalization, and martial law in the hood. All right, and it's important to understand, that while we've been saying it all along. All right, we've been telling you that this was coming. All right, telling you that this martial law was coming in a big way. All right, that these devils gonna crack down on you. The devil gonna show back his horns. All right, all while you jakes continue on in your enjoyment. Being daughters of music. As they say, partying. Fornicating, committing adultery, continuing your wickedness and not repenting. All right, and this thing come down upon you suddenly, because we all know about the proverb in Israel, the proverb that every vision fail. Everything just continues as it is. It's nothing, no judgment. All right, no judgment is coming, and that's a lie. Now the judgment is about to come, because everything this devil Trump is set to do and has done already, is the judgment of the Lord. That's exactly what it is. Right? While you Jakes partying and enjoying life, so-called enjoying your captivity, that's what you're doing. All right, this devil is about to come down. Let's go to the book of Romans, because you Jakes been told, what was going to take place. All right, Romans 10, and I'll start at verse. Let me see. Romans 10 and verse. Let me see. Verse 14. It say, "How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?" Right? But the Lord did send his preachers. He sent his servants, the prophets. Right? And we prophesied to you and we told you what was coming according to the book of Jeremiah. When you go Jeremiah 28 and 8. All right? We told you all that, that doom and gloom is coming. Right? It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms," right? Of what? Of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's exactly what's coming here, in the form of Trump. That this devil that the Lord set up to bring the judgment upon you Jakes. And then this is what is fair use. Fair use this video is only for educational purposes. Right? So this devil, what he's doing, he's declaring war on you Jakes. Right? That's the reason why he spoke about, just as how we did on the wall, in the border, and down south, the Mexican border. Well, who you think the Mexicans are? That's the tribe of Issachar, right? The Jakes, Israelites. Now we're saying you're going to do the same thing in Washington, D.C. And who's preferentially, who is overwhelmingly present in D.C.? You so-called blacks, right? The tribe of Judah, right? So he said he's going to do the same thing. So what's he doing? He's putting them up in immigration centers. His word is that he's been dropping bodies into the sea. All right, numerous bodies washing up on the shore with their hands and their feet bound. All right, this is what's coming for you Jakes. All right, this is exactly what's coming for you Jakes. So while you Jakes playing the ass, this man about to get rid of you niggas. All right, and we've been telling you to turn back. All right, but now the Lord judgment is getting ready to come. Your iniquities is causing this. Your sin is reached to a level where the Lord is not going to suffer you to dwell in Egypt any longer. All right, let's get 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And let me see. Let's start here. All right, let's see where we can reach. All right, 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 8. In fact, verse 7, it said, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves." Jake, when they continue on, should go and watch the elders full video and subscribe as well. Because he shows, a lot of these Negroes in the hood, holding out big wad of money, flexing it, and seeing how they love that money. But isn't the love of money is the root of all evil? Right, and that's what's going to make a lot of these Jakes run out there and take the MOTB, take that RFID micro chip. Right, they're going to go and take it because they love that money. Right, and they've been doing great. They have great iniquity. What a multitude of sin. Okay. Right, but this had to be the beginning of the end. Right, we don't know exactly how the Lord is going to bring in Jacob's trouble fully, but at the end of the day, this is coming up. This is getting hotter. And shit could get out of control really quickly. Right? So we can see the indication that this thing is coming. Well, you Jake's been robbing, raping, mugging, doing all manner of wickedness, doing carjackings to your own people and and whatnot. Hey, judgment is coming. You Jakes have done worse than the heathen. You actually supplanted the heathen. That's that Jacob spirit, the Iquab spirit. Alright? And the Lord has had enough. 2nd Esdras 15 and 8. I'll hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. That's what we do when we sign and we crying for all the abominations that be done, including the wickedness of our own people. Israelites, right? Right, from the tribe of Judah all the way down to the tribe of Issachar. All right? Okay? It says, verse 9, it says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right, so the Lord had enough. He's going to take you all out. Your all Jake's going to be basically wiped out. Or you're no good. All right, you're all wicked ass Jakes, 2/3 in America and the wicked Jakes around the world. All right, and the Lord said, you're being led as a flock to slaughter. Yeah, these devils, Esau, Edom is the one who leading you. Scripture say did that lead you, or he that lead you. In fact, let me get a precept. Isaiah 3, verse 12. It says, what? As for my people, children are the oppressors. Going back into Esau, Edom, and women rule over them. Right, that's why they set up the woman above the man in Babylon the Great. And around the world, like in Trinidad, mini Babylon. Right, that's what we call it, mini Babylon. It says, O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, right? And destroy the way of thy paths. Because why? They're not seeking the old ways. Right? It's all about, this whole system is all about freaking fairyism, adultery, fornication, you name it. All the manner, all the cup, the whole cup of abominations. That's what Babylon the Great is about. America, right? And this is what it is. So they lead it, they put the cup for you to drink, and you Jakes have drunk of that cup deeply. Right? And now you Jakes are mad, you're crazy. Right? You're messed up, and the only thing left for you all is what? Destruction. Alright? This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on his nakedness. Right? And this is what it is. This is what Esau Edom did, right? And now the devil is coming back, basically in his wickedness now to destroy your ass. He was the one who made you drink of the cup and do all manner of abomination. Now he's going to come back and be the sword that is against you, right? Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. Why do you say right hand? That's Yahushai, right? Because the left hand is talking about Esau Edom. And Esau Edom is going to drink of that cup. But Jake has to feel it first. Right? It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on all thy glory. On all the glory of Babylon the Great, it's gone. Right? It's gone, it's going down. You're talking about Washington, D.C. It's one of the most beautiful capitals in the world. All that bullshit is through. Alright? Things aren't going to get better. What these devils are doing, they're afraid they're coming down with great wrath because they know they have a short time. They know that Jake going to rise up. The Lord going to get his revenge on these devils, all right, by his people, Israel. All right? And they know this. All right? This is the reason why they're doing what they're doing. It's not by chance that they're coming down with great wrath. It's not by chance that they be sharpening this sword. All right? Ezekiel 21 and 9. This is what the devil is doing. It's Trump. He said he's going to bring in all the FBI. All right, he's going to bring in the park thing, the national security. Okay, all these troops, and let them loose on you, Jakes. All right, let them loose on you, Jakes. This is Ezekiel 21 and 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And that's what you Jakes about. You making mirth. Alright? What the scriptures say about the daughters of music. Music shall be brought low. Right? Ecclesiastes 12. Let's get that quickly. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 3, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, right? Because they are few, not going to have any jobs very soon. What these devils intend to do, very soon, maybe by next year, push this AI and this robotics, really, really heavy. All right, to take over all the jobs. All right, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird by the alarm clock, right? The birds chirping in the morning, right? And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. You're going to be brought low. Now let's go back to Ezekiel 21. It says what? Ezekiel 21:10. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? No, the daughters of music going to be brought low. That's why though, it's better to be in the house of mourning than the house of feasting. All right. It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. So you're gonna fall. Many you Jake's gonna fall. It says, and he shall be, and it he had slack here. Ezekiel 21:11. And he had given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, right, Jake? It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. All right, so hey, repent if you're hearing this. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke coming up here. All right. Many of you Jakes not gonna make it. All right. Many of you not gonna make it because they're gonna have curfews. They're gonna have roadblocks. All right. They're gonna pen you Jakes in. All right. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 17. And what they're really doing is they're gonna back you into a corner and prepare for what I mark. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right. Military checkpoints, roadblocks. Right. They're gonna have curfews, just like the elder was talking about in South Carolina there. They have a voice on the loudspeaker saying that children under 17 and under, can't be out in the streets beyond a certain time unless they're with a parent or guardian. Right? Verse 18 says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? So things gonna ramp up. It ain't gonna be nice. The Lord is bringing down the curtains on Babylon the Great. And you Jake right in the way. You all right in the way. You all love your oppressor. And they want to continue doing wickedness. So things not going to be good. Things not going to look good for you. This is Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Right? Because people are going to go buck wild in the streets. Right? When the economy crashes. All right? All these things going to go crazy. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Right? The mirth of the land is gone. There's no more mirth. Nothing good. All right? So understand the time that you're in. This ain't no joke. Ain't no time to play around. All right? Babylon is about to be broken down. And the only hope that you have is by arising and departing from the wickedness of Babylon the Great. And cleaving on to the Lord. The Lord's name is Yahweh Shai. It's not Jesus the Christ, right? Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right, this is Jeremiah 15 verse 1. It says, the word that the Lord spoke against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall depart, both man and beast. This is what's going to happen to you, when those missiles, those nuclear missiles hit from Russia, China, etc. Right? It says, in those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, their power. And this is talking about the elect, because the elect are going to repent. Because all the troubles they send here, according to 2nd Ezra 16, are sent as scourges for amendment. All right, that Jake will repent. But for all this, these Jakes love the wickedness. They love to have it so. They love to have the money. They love to love that money. All right, when you go a little further on, believe you see these Jakes doing all the wickedness. Some of them freaking fairies in the streets. All right.
Double honor to the. When it comes to art, when it comes to money, there's no bounds.
And that money could take you places you could never find.
All right, so that's the kind of wickedness that Jake love. And that's why Jakes are going down. All right? Those sentences against an evil work is not executed speedily. The hearts in them set in them tend to do evil, but a judgment is going to come, and it's here. All right? It's just going to get worse. I pray this lesson was edifying. Till the next time, Shalom Waharag Babal.